Today, we're diving into one of India's most fascinating and honestly mysterious sacred sites. It's a temple where flames have been burning non-stop for centuries, coming right out of bare rock, with absolutely no fuel to be found. I mean, that's the big question, right? A fire that just never goes out, it sounds like something straight out of a fantasy novel. But here's the thing, this isn't fiction. This is a real thing, a phenomenon that's had everyone from pilgrims to emperors and even modern scientists scratching their heads for ages. For hundreds, maybe thousands of years, tucked away in the foothills of the Himalayas, these flames have been coming right out of the cracks in the earth. It's a place that has baffled pretty much everyone who's ever seen it. And this place is the Jawalamukhi temple. What's so wild about it is that when you go inside, you're not going to find a statue or an idol. The object of worship is the fire itself. It's seen as a direct, living piece of divine energy. So, to really get why this flame is such a huge deal, you have to understand something called a Shakti Pitha. Basically, in the Hindu tradition, these are incredibly sacred spots. The story goes that they mark the exact places where parts of the body of the goddess Sati fell to earth. Okay, so if parts of her body fell all over, which part landed here? Well, that's where we get to one of the most powerful stories in Hindu mythology, the legend of the goddess's tongue. And trust me, this story is absolutely epic. It starts with Sati's self-sacrifice. A completely heartbroken Lord Shiva starts carrying her body across the universe, and his grief is so powerful it actually threatens to destroy everything. So, to save all of creation, Lord Vishnu steps in. He scatters the pieces of her body, and wherever a piece landed, it created one of these sacred Shakti Pithas. And right here at Jawalamukhi, that's where they say her tongue fell. And that's why, for believers, these flames aren't just a symbol of her tongue. No. The flames are her living, breathing presence. This is what's known as Adi Shakti, the primordial cosmic energy made visible right in front of you. It's a direct line to the divine, which is why you don't even need a statue. All right, but this isn't just some ancient myth. The story takes a really interesting historical turn when one of the most powerful emperors in India's history decided to test the power of this sacred place for himself. We're talking about the 16th century and the Mughal emperor Akbar. Now, Akbar was known for being a really curious guy, but also super pragmatic. So when he hears these stories about a fire that just won't go out, you can bet he was skeptical. He had to go investigate. According to the legend, Akbar's first move was to try and extinguish the flames. He literally diverted a stream of water to try and douse the main flame. But nothing. It just kept burning. Well, this apparently humbled him pretty quickly. He had a total change of heart and decided to make a grand offering, a solid gold umbrella, or a chhatra, which was a powerful symbol of royalty. And this is where the story gets even weirder. They say the goddess essentially rejected his gift. The pure gold of the umbrella was mysteriously transformed into some kind of unknown lesser metal. It was a sign that this divine power couldn't be bought or controlled, not even by an emperor. And that really became the core message of the whole legend. It's this amazing story about the limits of mortal power when it's faced with the divine. Even the great Emperor Akbar had to bow before a force he couldn't understand or extinguish. So we've got the divine explanation, and we've got the historical legend. But what does science have to say about all this? What's actually happening under the rock to keep this fire going? Well, from a geological perspective, the temple's built in a pretty fascinating spot. It's in a tectonically active region, sitting right on top of a geological fault. And that fault basically acts like a natural pipeline, letting flammable natural gas from deep in the earth seep up through cracks in the rock. The second it hits the air, boom, you get fire. And this brings us to these two powerful explanations for the exact same thing. On one side, you have the belief it's the fiery tongue of a goddess. On the other side, you have the geology. It's a continuous seep of natural gas. And for the people who visit, these aren't competing realities. They're just two different ways of understanding the same profound event. And that really is the essence of Jawalamukhi. It's not about choosing sides, faith versus science. The true power of this place is how all these different realities, the myth, the history, and the science, all come together in this one sacred spot. Think about it.
The mythology gives it a soul. The history gives it a legacy. The geology provides the mechanism, the how, and faith gives it all meaning. Each layer just adds to its significance, making Jawalamukhi so much more than just a temple or some geological curiosity.
Ultimately, Jawalamukhi is this incredible intersection. It's a physical place where the profound stories we tell about the universe meet the powerful physical processes of the planet we live on. And maybe that's the ultimate takeaway. Whether you see it as the tongue of a goddess or a fissure of natural gas, the sight of fire rising silently and eternally from stone, well, that's a powerful thing. It's a reminder that some forces in this world, both of nature and of belief, just command our attention and our reverence, no matter how we choose to explain them.